Right now at Sprint, you can lease the Samsung Galaxy S9 for just $5 a month with a Sprint Flex lease. Galaxy S9 is an incredible phone. It takes super slow-mo video and instantly translates foreign language signs, menus, maps, and more. Lease your Galaxy S9 for just $5 a month today. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1. Phone $5 per month after $28 per month credit. Apply within 2 bills. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Requires new line and 18-month lease. Excludes tax, subject to credit, $30 activation fee, and restrictions apply.
Welcome to Voices for Change 2.0, the only podcast that focuses on mental health while mixing in movies, music, books, sports, and pop culture. Here are your hosts, Rebecca and Joe Lombardo.
Hey, good morning, and welcome to Voices for Change 2.0.
Yeah, thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for getting up on the bright and early and checking us out. We do appreciate it, and we are grateful every week to all of our listeners for taking time out of their busy schedules to tune into our humble show.
Absolutely, and this is actually technically our first podcast of 2019.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, because our guest from last week had a little bit of a family emergency, and as far as I know, I've heard from her, and she's fine, and everything's going okay with her, so we're really glad with that. And it was Allie Douglas, and we're going to try and get her rescheduled later on in the year, but she and her family are fine now, so
that's good.
Yeah, we're happy to hear that.
That's a relief. Yeah, so happy New Year.
Happy New Year
to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful, fun, and safe New Year, and let's hope 2019 is as awesome as we all hope it will be.
Yeah, really. Last few years have been a little rough, so I think we're due.
Yeah, you get into the new year, and it's like, yay, it's the new year, and then, this went kaflooey.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of a running theme the last few years, but, we're trying to look at things pretty hopeful.
Trying to. Being the operative word there.
Yep, trying to get our lives a little more organized, doing different things around the house to make it, I don't know, a little more user-friendly, I guess.
It sounds kind of funny, having to make your house user-friendly.
I couldn't think of another way of putting it.
I don't know if I'd put it like that, honey. I think our house is already pretty user-friendly.
I just
just walk in, and there it is.
All right, smartass.
All right, so today we've got a really great show in store for you.
I'm going to give you such a pinch later.
Yes, dear, I understand. I have been chatting with this lovely lady for quite some time now. I believe we connected initially on Twitter, and I follow her on Instagram. She's prolific on Instagram. And she is a really, really fantastic advocate. She's very positive-minded. She likes to help people find the good in their lives, and we're just really glad to have her on. So please welcome to the show, Maya Augelli.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yay! Welcome.
Sorry, I got to take a drink of water after all that yammering. We haven't done a show for a little while, so it's going to take me some time to get used to it.
She's out of practice, folks.
Yep.
So, Maya, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Saturday
in winter
in January of 2019.
Are you in Ohio?
I am in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, for some reason I thought you were in Ohio.
Born and raised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to school in Indiana, but so kind of. I drove through Ohio a lot. But yeah, I'm in Philly. I'm in Philly area.
That's good. Go Eagles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a big game on Sunday.
Yeah, they're our last hope. We've got the Lions here, so that kind of went kaflooey. And of course, you guys get our best player.
Yeah. Yeah, well done you.
Well, I'm a Bills fan, if that makes you feel better. So I'm a Buffalo fan. I have a long history of disappointment in the football arena. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're same boat then. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you guys got our Golden Tate, and that is giving us real good reason to root for the Eagles.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing this year.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in if you don't have any questions for us.
No, that sounds great.
Okay. So usually the first question we ask virtually every guest is, where does your mental health journey begin?
So I was actually, I'm told, I was born with my condition. I started exhibiting symptoms when I was 2, but they weren't really recognized as symptoms by, I guess, anybody in health until I was almost 30. I kind of recognized it before then, and so I had kind of gone to see some treatment and things like that throughout my teens and my early 20s, and I was finally diagnosed just shy of my 30th birthday, like a month before my 30th birthday, was when I was finally diagnosed, and that's kind of when I started to learn about my condition. I have rapid cycling cyclothymia, so it's relatively rare. There's not a lot out there about that, so I started to learn as much as I could, from credible sources, from my therapist, and just kind of see what was available resource-wise, and I could find very little. And that's when I really started to think about advocating and to blog about it and start speaking out about it, because I felt like there must be other people going through the same thing, trying to find information, trying to find peers that were going through similar things, and they just couldn't find the information. So that's kind of where I started. And for reference point, I'm 39, so I got diagnosed 9 years ago.
Okay. And for those who aren't familiar with your condition, what does it entail?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of a weird description, I guess. So cyclothymia, it's a mood cycling disorder, and the way it's usually described is kind of like and I put this in quotes, a milder bipolar disorder. And I say I put it in quotes because it's people that go through it, like it's not mild.
Right,
but
right.
We don't go through. For me, like, I don't have full manias. I have hypomania, so I don't go. And my depression cycles don't tend to last quite so long. I am rapid cycling, so for me, I can cycle anywhere. My average is probably anywhere between every few weeks and every few hours. So I can cycle actually within a day. Yeah, it's not usually that common. I have to be pretty sleep deprived and going through some bad stuff to cycle that frequently, but I can. So yeah, so it's kind of it's on the mood cycling spectrum, I guess you could say. The mood, the bipolar spectrum, but just not without the full manias, and I don't go into quite as long, deep depressions.
Now, if you don't mind discussing this, please feel free to say you'd rather not mention this. But for something like that, how are they tackling it medically? Are you on prescriptions or?
Yeah, so I can tackle that. With the caveat that I am right now, I am off my prescription temporarily for a personal reason that I'd rather, it's not related to my mental health, but I can't at this moment be on my medication. But I am on a mood stabilizer. It's actually, what I'm on is actually technically a anti-seizure drug. I guess it targets the same portions of the brain, because I can't be on an antidepressant because of how rapidly I cycle. That's actually how I got diagnosed. My GP had put me on an antidepressant just because I was going through kind of a rough time, and she figured, give it a try, a very mild dose. And at first it seemed to be helping because I probably was in a depressive cycle. And then I started getting what I thought were frequent panic or anxiety attacks consistently, just weren't going away. And long story short, I ended up in the hospital for 2 days. They increased my medication thinking I was just really, really anxious. When I finally got back to my therapist that I'd seen a while before, what she figured out was that they were actually throwing me into mania.
Wow.
Because when I cycled up, it was lifting me further. So, so she weaned me down those safely, and then we started the, I take Trileptal, which is an anti-seizure drug, so we started
I used
that.
to take
but
that.
So
I
it's
took that for a while. I didn't have much luck for me, but I'm glad to hear that it's working out for you.
Medication is one of those things. I know people that, certain things work great for them, and other people are like, that's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and vice versa,
Yeah.
I mean, like, for me, I know people that were, like, for the antidepressant, like, that I was on, for people that don't cycle as rapidly, like, it probably works wonders, but for me, it was the opposite. So, it's tricky, and I just have to be careful with everything because I cycle so much. Like, I just have to, caffeine, alcohol, everything, like, I just have to really pay attention to where I feel like my body and my brain are, because if I feel like I'm going to be cycling into one or the other, like, relatively quickly, I just have to kind of, vary my lifestyle a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you feel like during all the process of discovering your diagnosis and everything that you were going through, did you feel supported by family and friends?
I did. I was super lucky. I have a very close family, and I have some really good friends, and also some really good friends that, from growing up and everything, that also struggle with mood disorders and depression and things like that. So that helped a lot. But my family was incredibly supportive, and in fact, in the session that I got diagnosed in finally with my therapist, actually my mom had come in with me because she had she wanted to kind of talk to the therapist about some things that I had gone through when I was very little that I didn't remember, that seemed to very much be mirroring what I was experiencing then. And that's, like, through talking to my family and stuff, is actually, and myself in my sessions, is how my therapist, like, actually was able to finally get my full diagnosis. So I felt incredibly supported. I think it's always a little nerve-wracking to tell people and things like that. But I felt pretty supported, and everybody was wonderful, like my family and everything. So
that's great. That's really good to hear.
It helps to have that kind of support,
it does.
Because especially when you're on a depressive
episode.
Thank you. It's really easy to feel like you're all alone and you've got nobody, and so having everybody kind of circle around you and circle the wagons and whatnot, that is just it's such a huge thing, such a big thing. So that's really good. Hey Maya, please tell us about the Spread Hope Project.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. I'm being
don't do that.
Oh, yes, dear.
Come out and say it. It's okay.
All right. I'm sorry. So Maya, please tell us about the Spread Hope Project.
Sure. So the Spread Hope Project was something that I started kind of by accident. I volunteer and do a lot with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I do their overnight walk every year and everything, and I do work with the local chapters. And I had gotten at one of their events, I'd bought or gotten for participating, I can't remember, a shirt that just had the word hope, and I think it had like their logo in there somewhere on it. And so I started wearing it around, and I noticed like that I got a ton of just people noticing the shirt, like that they liked it, compliments on the message, that kind of stuff. And I was like, hey, people really respond to like seeing this visual message, like this visual representation of hope, like this little reminder, like, hey, there's hope. And I was like, I want to do more with that. So I actually just started kind of creating things at first, like little things, and then I went on and got on Zazzle and started doing shirts and stuff with the word hope. And I chose for my current logo like a a lotus, just because that's something that I don't know. I really like the flower, and it kind of is hopeful to me. And I just started creating stuff like that. And at first it was just like an Instagram campaign. So I just started like basically trying to take pictures in as many places with as many people as I could, with this message of like this physical message of hope on like a shirt or a cup or whatever it was. And it started to get some traction. So I decided I wanted to expand it. And what I'm doing now, like I'm still trying to, of course, put out like messages of hope and that kind of stuff. But one of the things I really want to use it to do is to help other advocates, because I know for me, as like I work full time and I'm trying to advocate, and I have a husband and a house and that kind of stuff. And like when you're doing it on your own, or even just a couple of people, and you're ill and you're doing other stuff, like it can be really can be taxing on your time. It can be taxing on your energy, your finances, everything. So I kind of wanted to just utilize this to try to help other people. So that's kind of one of my new goals of it, is to work with other advocates. Like right now, just doing it like free of charge, just to help work with other advocates to try to like promote them. I have a background in marketing and events. So if people want to do like fundraising events or like awareness events, or they want to do some sort of a marketing campaign, to just try to help them. I've had people guest blog and like email interview on my website, and just try to help them promote that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. One of my goals for 2019 is to do a road trip to kind of plot it out so that I have advocates in various cities that I can kind of drive to and meet, and maybe like either interview them, whether it's a quick video interview or it's something that we take pictures of and we document and then we write about it later, and just try to kind of connect with people along the road, get out organically, and do that. So that's kind of one of my goals for 2019. So, yeah.
Planning is coming along well for that.
It's in the beginning works. I have a full-time job, so it's time off and money and that kind of thing. So it might end up starting this year as like a few mini road trips, like long weekends and things like that. But yeah, I'm getting there. So it probably would be more towards this end of summer, beginning of fall is kind of my goal. I would love, there's a few conferences in the fall up and down the East Coast, so I might try to tie it in with one of those like health advocacy conferences and things like that, so that I can, get to the conference and meet people and, use the most of my time.
Right.
So.
And that's a great idea, and it's a good time to go too. Was it last year we went to New York, and it was, I believe, end of September that we went, and it was ridiculously hot when we went, surprisingly. But it was real nice. It was a beautiful drive, and you're right. There are a lot of conferences around that time of year, and I think you starting to plan that now is a perfect timing kind of thing for then. Gives you a good chance to figure out where you're actually going, how you're going to route your route, and all that stuff. And I think it's a great plan. I think that that'll be a real nice. I can't find my words today.
It's okay, honey. It's a great project, and we wish you all the best with your road trip. Maybe you'll swing by our area at some point. Who knows?
I have family all over the country, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm literally across the country. So
what other type of projects are you planning for 2019, if any?
So this is related, but it's kind of on a tangential. I'm in the middle of yoga teacher training right now. So one of the things that I would like to do is once I'm graduated, and it might tie in with some of the road trips, is start doing some I want to focus on like yoga and wellness for like mental health, of course, but also maybe start doing like some benefit classes or workshops. So where I do these like workshop for like yoga and mental health, or it might maybe something like on trauma or something like that. And then portions of the proceeds, or, you know, a majority of the proceeds would go to some sort of a charity for mental health, or if it was, you know, for some other reason, if I was doing some sort of special populations or something, then, you know, to a charity that focused on that. But that's something and I graduate in May, so that's another reason, May or June, sometime around there, I should say. So that's another reason I'm looking for my road trip to be closer to the end of the summer, the early fall, because I might be able to incorporate some of that. But that's a big one. And I'm just trying to get out more and do more, like I'm trying to do more collaborating with other advocates, you know, doing this podcast and, you know, doing like guest blogging on sites and things like that, just trying to get in, and also just trying to expand I've mostly been written, I've been mostly like blogging and things like that. So trying to do things, whether it's like getting out organically and meeting people and helping in events, or it's doing podcasts or something like that. I'm trying to expand you know, get out of my, I guess, comfort zone a little bit of just like sitting behind my computer and blogging and social media. So.
And actually getting out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do sometimes too. You know, honestly, you know, being able to actually get out there and press the flesh, so to speak, with fellow advocates, and you know, it's, you know what they say, strength in numbers, right? So
right.
You know, I think that's awesome that you're doing that, and good on you with the yoga instructor thing.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
You can start doing videos on a YouTube channel and there's all kinds of ways that you can take that. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is, and it's definitely something that I want to work with. Like I said, I definitely would love to work with, like, and we're doing some as part of our training. We're doing some work on like trauma informed, but that's definitely something I would like to focus on. Whether it's like working with people with PTSD or that kind of thing. I definitely would like to kind of hone in my yoga on like mental health and chronic illness and stuff. Not that I won't do like regular classes, but it's definitely an area I want to take it. And I know it helps me personally just doing yoga in general. So.
Right.
If I can focus it more, and also if I can use it to like bring awareness and, you know, maybe some funding, and also just to help people out.
Well, you see, you know, yoga and mindfulness kind of go hand in hand a lot of the time anyway online, and I think that with you focusing on applying that to, you know, trauma victims and whatnot, I think it would only be beneficial. You know, I really think that, you know, you've got a lot of potential there to help a lot of people, and that's great. You know, that's ultimately why we're all here. You know, so.
Out of curiosity, have you done like the DBT or the CBT type courses?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't.
I haven't yet. But that's another thing. I'm just like, I really want to, just expand my I don't know, knowledge, and like hopefully I have a lot of knowledge about my own condition, but just like expand my opportunities, and, you know, as far as like education and like coursework and things like that. I'm always looking to just kind of branch out a little bit and see what there's always. You can always learn something from everybody. So like. Right.
I'm kind of in the same position. I'm constantly looking for, you know, courses and things like that. They have, I don't know if I pronounced the name of this company right, but it's Udemy, Udemy, and they'll put their courses on sale. You know, a $200 course for $9.99, and I ended up picking up CBT and DBT. So. I haven't started either of them yet, but I got a little discouraged because this one course that I was taking I got looking at some other pages of their website the other night late and realized that it's only for people who live in Las Vegas.
Oh.
So I had gone through the workbook and watching all these horrifically boring videos and all this stuff. and it was completely useless for me. So
Well, it's not completely useless. We have talked about retiring to Vegas.
yeah, well, if we retire, I'm not going to be using any of those skills.
You're like, I'm gonna be sitting there where it's warm and doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to take our first break, so we can pick up your points on the other side. We'll take a listen to Jenna Ushkowitz with True Colors.
Did really good on that.
Never let anything distract you from winning. Ever.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all in darkness. Still inside you make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. Yeah, true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Hey, welcome back to Voices for Change 2.0. I'm Joe. She's Rebecca. And on
Last time I checked.
Last time she checked. And on the line, we are talking to the wonderful, lovely, and talented Maya Augelli.
Is that from Lawrence Welk?
What?
That you got that from, the lovely and talented?
No,
Or like Johnny Carson or something?
I don't know where I got
It
it
makes me
from.
feel really dated when you say that.
I don't know where I got it from.
Like
I
we're
just
really showing our age with stuff like that.
I got news for you, honey. We're old. I'm sorry to tell you that. We are old.
We're going to have to find out something else to say other than lovely and talented.
I
Especially
enjoy
when we're
saying
talking to men. I love it when you say it then.
Well, it's the best when I say it then. That's even better. But no, we're really showing our age when we're referring to people like Johnny Carson, because the kids out there are like, the kids are like, who? Let me give you.
Lawrence Welk.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah. But yeah, Johnny Carson was Jimmy Fallon long before Jimmy Fallon was Jay Leno. So if that tells you anything. Boy, that was really random.
Yeah.
That's so random.
So random. All right, so we are having a lovely conversation with our good friend Maya here, and
yes,
I would like to know, Maya, did you have a point that you wanted to bring up? I think we interrupted you a little bit before the break.
Oh no, I think what I was going to say in reference to your mentioning that the coursework was just for people in Las Vegas. That's something I've definitely run into, not the Las Vegas thing in particular, but in looking at various like certifications and training, and it seems to be super common, and like at least in mental health. I can't speak for in general for like chronic illness, but things are very like state specific or region specific. Because I've looked into doing like my peer certification and stuff, and it's the same thing. It's like if I get it in PA, I could only, where I live, like I could only use it in PA. And if I went to Jersey, I'd have to, I literally live 5 minutes from Jersey, like right over the bridge, and I'd have to do a whole different training. So it's one of those things I've noticed that I feel like there is a when it comes to education, particularly for advocates, there's a bit of a lack that like things are very segmented. So that's something I'd love to see open up.
What was so exciting about this one that I was doing was that it was online, because I'm not at this point I don't actually have a running vehicle. I have a vehicle, it's just not running per se. And not to mention I have severe social anxiety, severe agoraphobia. So it makes, driving every day to
anywhere.
take a course to anywhere, really take a course or what have you, makes it very difficult. So this particular peer support specialist thing was online, and I was able to take all the tests and everything, and it was fantastic until I found out that I couldn't use it for anything. But I guess in retrospect I did gain some knowledge that I didn't have before, so that's a silver lining, I guess. But I think that there's so much online learning available now that I would think that would be something that they would really start to work towards, is making that available everywhere.
I agree, especially because it's not, unless you're dealing with like laws regarding certain things, like it's not something that needs to be state to state. Like, mental health is universal, right? So like, depression is depression regardless if you're here or, across the globe. So obviously, there's the social context and everything depending on where you are. But as far as like education and training, like it's global. So it would make sense to have something more universal. I know some organizations are working on it, but I think like even the things that I've seen, I want to say Mental Health America is the one, but it's like you already have to be certified in your region for X amount, and then you can go and do a national thing. But there's very little that's, like you said, and like also like you pointed out, people that are struggling with their health, like for any reason, like to have to get up and go to a course every day that's offered like one place in your whole state. Like I live in PA, and like PA is 7-hour drive long. Like, so if it's offered one or two places in your whole state, and you're at home with depression and you're struggling to like shower, getting up and driving an hour each way every day to go to this course for however long. Like it's
first thing in the morning.
Right.
When your depression is really not doing so hot first thing in the morning, especially if you've been up all night the night before.
Yeah.
But did you did you ever look into the No Stigmas Ally training?
I have. I've actually done, now that you mentioned that, I've done the No Stigmas Ally training. I should have mentioned that. I forgot about that. I actually did do that, and that was one of the few that I thought was great because I was able to do it right online. And I was actually also, the other thing I was able to do, because I've been certified before, was I was able to do my mental health first aid online. And I think it's because I've previously taken it in person, but I was able to do that online as well.
That would be great. I would, because the courses here are so limited.
And so few and in between.
And obviously Joe wants to do it with me, and so we have to try to work it around his work schedule, and then the next thing you know, the class is full or what have you. So it's...
Yeah, or I have to take the time off, and when I go to look...
Yeah, you have to actually take days off of work for us to go, because it's so far away, like you were saying. And the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's been tricky trying to, we've been trying to do that for the last 2 years, and just haven't been able to get it to work out yet.
No, I'm going to check tomorrow and see if they've updated any of the dates for 2019, because we really need to get that going. Did you said you took it already? You took it online and you're all set?
Yes, I was able to. Philadelphia has a Department of Behavioral. It's DBHIDS, and I'm not sure what the full acronym is. Department of Behavioral Health and something. And they actually do a ton of training. We're really lucky because we have in some major university hospitals in our area, like Penn being one. So we do have decent, like our city's pretty good at trying to like do education and stuff. They're not the most responsive, so like getting a hold of them is tricky. But if you just want to go up and like sign up online, you can do it. So I did that a while ago, and then because I did that, I was able to go in and take like the recertification online. So that was because I didn't like I'd already gone through the like little exercises they do in person. But I think I had to do the initial in person.
Okay.
So, what advice do you have for other advocates as far as how they can best serve the general public or people that come to them for assistance?
Or getting their own word out better.
Sure. I mean, I think my biggest thing that I have learned is it's incredibly scary sometimes to speak out and to really divulge what you're feeling. But there are so many people going through maybe not the exact same thing, but something similar. And each time I speak out about how I'm feeling, I get more and more people that Facebook friends, people I went to school with, like, whoever it is, like that I never, had any idea were struggling in similar ways, coming to me. So I guess, my thoughts would be, first of all, you have to have your own comfort level with it. So, don't push yourself past what feels safe for you, because that could backfire, as far as depression and anxiety and things like that on you personally, if you aren't feeling comfortable. But if you are comfortable and you want to speak out, there really is, like, I've gotten much more support than I have, negativity or that kind of thing. For me personally, I can't certainly speak for anybody else. But I would just say, like, the number of people that come to you and say, like, wow, thank you so much for saying something. I struggle. I haven't wanted to speak out about it for so many reasons, whatever their personal reason is. But, it really helps to hear that somebody's also feeling that way. Like, it's so rewarding to me. And it's also kind of cathartic to be able to, like, write down what I'm feeling. It helps me to get it out, and it's helping, it helps other people to know that I'm going through it and they're not alone. So I guess my thought is just kind of go at your own comfort level, but, don't be, too afraid to put yourself out there, because it really could help somebody else, and you really might find more support. Like, it might feel really lonely, but you might find more support. And it really, like, I've developed so many friendships and, interactions with people just from literally, like, tweeting, or writing a blog or whatever it is, that I now, like, consider friends. And I forget that that's how I met them. I met them through, Twitter or a Facebook group or something like that. Like, now we've become friends, whether it's internet friends or it's face-to-face friends. It's like these relationships develop, and this like understanding and the support system develops. And honestly, there are times that, like, because they understand what's going on, those are the first people you go to. If you're just having a bad day and you're like, nobody's going to understand what I'm talking about that doesn't experience this, but everybody that does is going to completely get it. And there are days like those are the first people I go to if I just need to say, like, this is how I'm feeling. It won't make sense to anybody outside of this group, but, I need to get it out. And it really, it's been super helpful to me. And it's just every single voice truly makes a difference, because if you tweet something out or you post something or you write something, like, you can have somebody that's, like, hanging on by a thread, and they see that and they're like, I'm not alone, this person gets it. Like, maybe I can send them a message, or even if I can't, like, I know that I'm not the only person. And I've had so many experiences like that somebody's like, that's exactly what I needed to see, like, right now. So it really, like, it can do so much good. I mean, there's such a strong community out there for it. Like, once you kind of delve in.
The mental health community, especially on Twitter, is really great. But and I hate to, because you're speaking about such positive instances, but I will bring this up from time to time. I consider it sort of my personal warning to people is that, yes, there are wonderful, amazing people on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook that will support you and will help you get through whatever you're trying to get through. But please don't rely on social media for helping you get through whatever pain that is inside of you, because you could reach out and not get a response. Maybe your post just didn't, it was one line or something. It didn't have a hashtag. Nobody saw it. It wasn't that anybody ignored it. It's just that you didn't get the feedback that you needed from that post, and that made things worse for you. So while I'll always say how wonderful and amazing our mental health community is, I always kind of temper it with that little warning. Like, make sure there's somebody in your life for real that you can go to if you need to.
Or your doctor, therapist.
Absolutely.
But yeah, getting back to what you said, the community that we're all a part of, it's funny, and you're right. They become friends, and you look forward to talking with them. If you get to hang out with them and face to face, it's even better. But even if not, you've got those people out there that do understand, and they've been through what you're going through, or they're going through what you're going through as well, and you're able to support each other, and that's huge. That's a really big thing, and just knowing that you're not alone, it helps, I guess, take the edge off the pain a little bit.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make it go away, but at least hey, you know what, so and so is out there too, and they're going through this.
Absolutely, and I agree 100% with both of your points. I mean, I have also been in that place where I've put a post out and I'm like, I guess I have no friends, and then I realized, it was actually 6 a.m. and I have insomnia, so I couldn't sleep, and that's why nobody saw my post. That definitely doesn't, I wouldn't use that as my last resort if I was in a desperate situation, or if I really if I needed clinical help. It's I tend to do it more if I'm having I just need to see has anyone experienced, I run a closed Facebook group for mood disorders, and so a lot of times it's hey, has anyone experienced this kind of thing, or how did you have you gone through this, what did you do, or what's helped you when your mind's racing and you can't focus, or something like that, and it's kind of throwing out anyone have any thoughts on this kind of thing? And some people do, some people might post, something more personal, certainly. But yeah, I definitely use it more for a kind of an extra, I just need some kind of, to put it out there and see if somebody connects with it, as opposed to my absolute, I'm in desperate need of help type of situation.
Right.
For sure. The community is supportive.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No.
How do you feel about how we're handling stigma these days? Do you think that we're conquering this whole battle with it? And if not, or if so, what do you think we need to do in the future?
I mean, I think it's absolutely getting better. Just in the fact of the number of people that are speaking out, and even the number of people that would reach out one-on-one to say that they're struggling, even if they're not ready to put it out there, but they're willing to reach out to somebody, especially if it's somebody you don't really know, it's not a good friend, it's just somebody that sees your tweet or something like that, or your post. So the fact that people are willing to be more open about it, absolutely, it is getting better. I think, as with anything, there will always be people that have made up their mind long before they hear the facts about anything. They have preconceived ideas, and it might not even, I don't want to say it's not their fault, but it's this is what they've heard for how many, from whoever, for how long, from the culture, for whenever it is, and it's, until they have that exposure to something else, that's going to be that line of thinking. And those, there are people that they really just do need to be educated on it. And then I think that those are the people that we're able to reach and to, get them to see the other side of it. But with anything, there's going to be people that have made up their mind and that's just what they're always going to believe. And,
right.
And they're going to stigmatize because for whatever reason they've decided that they have this feeling about mental health, and that's how they're gonna, they're gonna feel. And but I think we are making headway. Absolutely, just the fact that so many more people are talking about it, that there's conferences about it for patients, not just doctors, but for people, everyday people, that kind of thing. That there's podcasts and there's organizations and there's groups and there's, meetups and all that kind of whatever it is, there's so many more opportunities to connect. And I think just the fact that so many people are being more open about it, absolutely, that's a huge check in the positive column.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And the thing is it's a matter of open-mindedness, and you get people that are open-minded and they're willing to listen, they're willing to learn, and that helps turn the tide of stigma. And then you've got people, like you said, that just they're set in their ways. They have their opinions, right or wrong, and there's no convincing them. And that's the hard thing. That's I see it in other ways, in politics and whatnot, and trying to. You learn where to pick your battles, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And, when you're going to be able to convince someone that, a situation is a certain way, and when you're not, just they're set in their ways. So you're almost better off not saying anything to that person because, all it's going to do is interrupt into an argument, and you're both just going to dig your feet in, and
I think that
nothing's
comes
going to happen.
with maturing.
Yeah.
I certainly know from my own personal experience, even just a couple of years ago, I would, say something, and if somebody said something that was like a counterpoint, my blood would immediately boil, and I'd get all up in arms and, end up in a confrontation with the person. And I don't know, and now that I've gotten to the age that I'm at, it's just sort of like, it's just not that important.
Yeah, you start to learn what matters and what doesn't matter, So
that's 100%, and I think it depends on the person too. If I had a close friend and they, I don't know, used a term that I was like, that's kind of offensive. I might be like, hey, so I know you didn't mean it this way, but that's how it comes across. Or I do a lot of with one of the big things with suicide prevention is instead of saying committed suicide, you say died by suicide. That, because committed is for crimes and sins, and it's not, So, that kind of thing. I'll do educating on hey, this is the terminology. If it's somebody that I feel is close and really just doesn't get that what they're saying could be offensive, or it's something that's become so, I don't know, much of a terminology in general talking that they don't realize how much they say it or how they're using it. But like you said, there are people that you're just it's the same thing with anything, whether it's political or it's a religious post or whatever it is, that you're just going to scroll past it, just going to walk by it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they were actively aiming it at me or something, that might be a different, if they were blasting it specifically about me. But if it's an ignorant comment, it's kind of what, if I ignore it, their comment will go away. It won't keep popping up in the Twitter stream. It won't people won't hear us talking about it, whatever it is, it'll go away. If I add fuel to the fire, then it's going to be in people's minds, and that could be even worse. Might as well just let it die away.
Right.
That's very true. It's like that saying, keep your mouth shut and let people think that you don't know anything, or open your mouth and, remove all doubt.
Right. Absolutely.
So, how do people, if they want to get involved with what you're doing and, come to you for, for help, with the Spread Hope Project, how would they go about doing that?
Yes, I have on my website, which is spreadhopeproject.com. It's exactly like it sounds. Like it's exactly like it sounds. I do have a contact form, and I have like all of my social media information. People can email me. It's currently my email for Spread Hope Project. It's thespreadhopeproject@gmail.com. I guess Spread Hope Project was probably taken at some point. So it's the THE Spread Hope Project at gmail.com. Also on any of my social medias, whether it's me personally or it's Spread Hope page, they can reach out to me on those. So I'm pretty accessible, but definitely on my website, it's all of my there's a contact form and there's all my social media handles.
Okay.
I think it's like there's a contact tab.
So going to spreadhopeproject.com, that's gonna point them in the right direction to all your other social media as well.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a contact tab, I believe. I kind of put links throughout to my social media. And I think my Instagram's right on the front page. They can find it there. But there's a contact tab, like the last tab on the right-hand side is a contact. And they can either fill out a form or there's like a link to email, Twitter. Twitter is just me, my personal account. But Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. So
cool.
Well, we're running a little short on time here. We've got a couple of minutes left, but I did kind of want to. I had a question pop into my head, and I wanted to ask your opinion since you've been working with you said the American Society of American Suicide Prevention. Which one is it?
American Foundation of Suicide for Suicide Prevention.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Foundation.
AFS.
Couldn't remember that one. Do you feel like that I don't know the statistics on this, so that's why I'm kind of throwing it out to you. But do you feel there are more suicides currently, or do you feel as if it's just become more talked about and more people are aware of it?
I think it's a combination of the two, and I think it depends on the group. I do the group of people, like the demographics is the word I'm trying to use. I know in young people, sadly, the numbers are up. The numbers under 18 and even the numbers under 14 are up, I believe, as of last I heard. Now, don't quote, I'm not the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, so it could have changed. So I think for certain groups they're up. I think veterans is one of those groups as well, just because we've had so much, the veterans have been going through so much lately. But I also think that what used to be previously like, oh, they died of natural causes or mysterious, which obviously that's not the case, but like mysterious circumstances, or, oh, they died by, it could have been that it was, oh, somebody died by a drug overdose or something like that, it could have been, and now people are coming out and explaining what happened. I think before it was kind of covered up and not spoken about. So I think it's kind of a combination of the two. I think that it's increasing in some groups, and I think it's being more talked about in some groups. The stats always waver if the total number is going up or down. They have been around the same. They were, I want to say, decreased, and then they went back up. I haven't seen the 2018 stats.
There was actually something I saw online the other day saying that police, they're now seeing more incidents of them dying by suicide versus them dying on the job, and that's a tough one to swallow too.
Yeah.
Very believable.
First responders, I believe, might also be up. First responders.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And again, similar to that, the military, the police, the first responders, and people that are going through, such stress and trauma on a regular basis. But that could also, that could also be another group where they're being more open about it as well. But yes, I think there is a stat about veterans particularly. I think that's like the number of people that have died by suicide after coming back from like the last 2 wars versus actually killed there, and the status startling, it's like 10 times the amount or something like that. But same thing with police and first responders. I think those numbers are up as well, which is such a shame.
I do think a good part of it is because the stigma on it is starting to be broken down a little bit. It's why it's being discussed more. So maybe it was always there, but just, you know, the quote unquote shame of it is finally being sidestepped, and, you know, people are realizing, hey, we need to talk about this because, you know, we're dying out here.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
So that could be a bit of it too, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree, and I think it kind of, I don't want to say feeds on itself, but like, you know, when you see these organizations out there that are doing this work and people are being open about it, then I think more people start to be open about it, and then, you know, it kind of perpetuates itself, which is the goal, you know. But like, we've had this overnight walk in Philly for two of the last 5 years now. I participate in the overnight walk for AFSP, and you know, like, each time we have it, I see more and more stories coming out from people and things, like talking about it and sharing about it. And sometimes it's stuff that was like decades old that they never said, like, oh, my uncle died by suicide, you know, 25 years ago or something, and they never have talked about it. So I think there's also that people are bringing things up. To clarify, that wasn't my uncle, that was an example. But yeah, I think people are bringing it up, even like maybe old things that they just have held on to and haven't been able to talk about. Now they feel able to talk about it because of the decreasing stigma a little bit. And so I think that's happening as well, which is great. It's great that people are feeling able to share their story in hopes of helping others instead of feeling like ashamed of a story, or, you know, just like they shouldn't speak about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for us. This has been great. This went really well. Thank you for joining us for our first podcast of 2019. You'll go down in history.
Indeed. And we're so happy we got to talk with you. And, you know, if there's anything new coming up with the Spread Hope Project, by all means, reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to have you back on to talk about it some more.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me and for letting me pioneer 2019, even if unintentionally. but no, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate being able to talk about it and about my project and just everything that you guys do, that you're doing this on a, you know, regularly, and getting the word out there and letting people speak about their stories. I think that's awesome. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always good to start a new year on a positive note, and can't think of a more positive person than you to start it out with there, Maya. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. But this is David Hernandez with Beautiful.
Have a great day, everybody.
Stars are in the sky and they're starting to align. I see you passing by and we're slowing down the time. Now my love is flashing by, all I see is flashing lights, 'cause you're right here by my side. Can you feel it come alive? If this were a love song, would you be mine? 'Cause I just can't get you off of my mind, and I think about you all day and night. So I wrote you a love song, wrote you a love song. Baby, you're beautiful, I think you're beautiful, so damn incredible, so unforgettable. Yeah, I think you're beautiful, baby, you're beautiful. think you're beautiful. Oh, tonight, it's just you and I. We're on fire, no one burns it brighter. So damn incredible, so unforgettable. Yeah, I think you're beautiful. Baby, you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful. So damn incredible, so unforgettable. Yeah, I think you're beautiful. Baby, you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful. So damn incredible, so unforgettable. Yeah, I think you're beautiful. Baby, you're beautiful.
And now, an ad from Dad.
All right, save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Can I take these off? All right. What is this? This looks good. Wow, that's well made. Where did you get this? I'm talking to you with the hair. Yeah, where did you get this? It's good stuff. That's solid. That's not veneer. That's solid stuff.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Right now at Sprint, you can lease the Samsung Galaxy S9 for just $5 a month with a Sprint Flex lease. Galaxy S9 is an incredible phone. It takes super slow-mo video and instantly translates foreign language signs, menus, maps, and more. Lease your Galaxy S9 for just $5 a month today. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1. Phone $5 per month after $28 per month credit. Apply within 2 bills. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Requires new line and 18-month lease. Excludes tax, subject to credit, $30 activation fee, and restrictions apply.